Hello friends, do you know any information about Columbia Shuttle disaster? If no, don't worry. Today we're going to discuss a very interesting and engaging topic, Columbia Shuttle disaster. Oh yeah, thank you for reminding me. My name is Hassan Amir and I am from NIS IB of Astana. So let's get started. First of all, let me introduce you with the presentation outline. First of all, we will provide you background information. After it, what happened in details. After the causes of this disaster, 5 crucial facts, consequences, and we will conclude the presentation by summaries. So first of all, let me provide you background information. So Columbia Shuttle disaster is the disaster which took place on 1st February of 2003 with the US Space Shuttle. This disaster, this accident, claimed the lives of all astronauts on board, all crews in space, uh, in space shuttle, just a minute before it was to land to at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida, according to space.com. And for now, I think that you are very interested in this topic, and you are questioning yourself, what happened in detail? What is the chronological way of this accident? What is the uh, causes and consequences of this accident? And first of all, let me answer um, for the first question: is the chronological way of this disaster? First of all, during the crew's 16 days in space, NASA investigated a foam strike that took place during launch. About 82 seconds after Columbia left to the ground, wait, left to not to the ground, left the ground. A piece of foam fell from a biped ramp that was part of a structure that attaches the external tank to the shuttle. So we can see that the first event which had happened in this disaster is a piece of foam which fell apart from the Columbia shuttle. And it was later found that this piece of foam broke up the left wing of this shuttle, um, which was one of the main causes of this conflict or was of this disaster. But about that, I will tell you later. And the second chronological uh, the second event in the chronological way is abnormal results. During the re-entry, first of all the location of the Columbia Space Shuttle was normal, was valid, but just minutes before it was planned to land in the Kennedy Space Center in Florida, the mission center um, observed abnormal results of Columbia Shuttle, and just before 9 a.m. Uh, mission um, mission um, mission center could hear the last words of the commander is husband's last words is Roger, which was cut off in the middle of the sentence. And shortly afterward the disaster, the NASA um, the NASA declared about the contingency of this accident. And switching to the next slide, let me explain you all uh, all three causes of this disaster. First of all, is the mechanical problems. Not surprisingly, that the mechanical cause of the disaster was long ago identified. That a piece of foam of an external tank, the size of a suitcase, broke off 92 seconds after lift off and punched a hole in the heat shielding leading edge of the left wing. Upon re-entry, the gas the gas flows superheated gases to invade the craft structure and start to melt it. And the second reason is NASA's negligence. Um, mm, Actually, I, s- uh, I suppose that the second and the last causes are very similar, and I uh, I will tell these two causes not separately but together in order to understand um, and comprehend everything clearly. So NASA manager told the investigation that there was no safety of light issue and we couldn't have done anything about it anyway. But the probe found that they also failed to heed specific and repeated warnings about the possibility of calamity for the Columbia after foam from its fuel tanks struck a wing after its liftoff. Moreover, the flaws in the culture of NASA and the attitude of its senior managers seen by the board echo those identified after the Challenger crash so many years ago. If lessons were learned, then apparently many of them were swiftly forgotten, and we can claim that um, not only mechanical problems, not only mechanical problem caused this disaster, but also NASA's negligence and the flaws in culture of NASA was one of the major cause of this disaster. And I think that you already know the key points of this crash, but in order to enhance our knowledge, I suggest you um to gain these five crucial facts. So the first fact is the Columbia Space Shuttle had the seven-member crew. Rick Husband is the commander, Michael Anderson, payload commander, David Brown, mission specialist, Kalpana Chawla, mission specialist, Laurel Clark, mission specialist, William McCool, pilot, and Ilian Ramon, pilot specialist from the Israel Space Agency. It's according to the video of channel US Space and Rocket Center 2023. And here, at the right side of the slide, you can observe the picture of this same seven-member crew in the space. It's the picture taken from NASA's official site, so you can be sure that these seven members are really was in this Columbia shuttle while the disaster. And the other four facts is the fact that first flight of Columbia Space Shuttle took place in 1981, and also it completed uh, 27 successful um, 27 successful flights and missions before the disaster itself, and the last flight is the 28th flight took place on started on January 16, 2003, and after the disaster, NASA uh, NASA um, gathered a lot of uh, debris of this Columbia shuttle, and they uh, collected all they collected 84,000 pieces, which is equal to 40% of uh, Columbia shuttle weight, according to space.com. And the consequences, the first consequence is the death of astronauts. And all seven astronauts, which were the crew of the Columbia Space Shuttle, died due to the disaster. It's those astronauts in the picture on the right of the slide, right side of the slide. And the second reason is the blaming of NASA. The Columbia Accident Investigation Board produced a damning assessment of the culture at NASA. It's according to space.com. And the third consequences is the improvement in NASA. Cultural traits and organizational practices detrimental to safety were allowed to develop. And the CAIB, or Columbia Accident Investigation Board, ruthlessly seek and eliminate, say, recommended NASA ruthlessly seek and eliminate safety problems such as uh, the foam to ensure the astronaut safety in future missions and ATC. Uh, so the second, the third, and the last consequences is according to space.com and Dobrojevich and Howell. So in conclusion, the change in human capability and development directly lead to sustainability, innovation, and revolution. From a point of view, if from a point of view, if humanity changes its way of progress and tries to fully open humans' special mindset potential, then it leads to safety and pretty profitable continuous growth. Frankly speaking, if NASA had excluded or at least had tried to decrease to the minimum the negligence and carelessness which took place in the Challenger shuttle disaster within Columbia 28th flight, then the disaster would have not happened. There can be more and more examples of avoiding past disasters, such as the Columbia shuttle disaster. But the bottom line is one: humans always must learn from any past mistakes, and at the same time, humans must not let those mistakes repeat. At the same time, enhancing the capability and development that will lead to a brighter future. So here is my bibliography, and thank you for attention.